Hello everyone and welcome back. What you're seeing is a modern comic book collection that a friend of the channel, his name is Patrick, he is looking to sell this collection. So right off the bat, Patrick I think is willing to sell individual books as well as selling the whole collection. Before we get into all of this, if you are looking to buy this entire collection, his information is in the description of this video below. Including he was gracious enough to include his cell phone number and some other contact information. So just please, serious inquiries only. But this is a really cool collection that is very interesting to look at, and we can kind of make some guesses as to when he was collecting, what he's collecting, what his interests are. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at some of these books. As you can see here in the very beginning, and he kind of told me this and when he first messaged me, was a lot of high-grade slabs and a whole lot of signature series stuff. So right off the bat, we have some pretty good books. A 9.8 Moon Knight #1, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1, 9.4, ASM 301. That looks like some sort of reprint. It was signed. A lot of these books are modern books. I'm going to let you guys know now, and especially like there's ratio variants. So some of these I am not familiar with. And we've got Wonder Woman #1, Spawn 1, and then I believe these are like the negative space. I can't remember if Nakayama did all those, or I can't remember who the artist was that did all those. I know those negative space got hot for a while. And see, here's examples of books that he has all the different variations of these ratio variants. A lot of modern stuff here that I am not super familiar with. If you guys follow the channel, you guys know that that is not really something I collect. So here at the top we have some, looks like some Psylocke books, Batman and Predator signed. I think he said there was around 200 slabs, and later on you'll see that he's got some cards as well, and many of them are Gem Mint 9 or 10.0s. Now, something that really caught my eye was these Dragon Ball books. So this book here with Gohan on the front, I think this is like, this isn't technically the first Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball comic. I think it might be the first comic, but it's not the first time that Dragon Ball was printed. This is the manga that was transferred to comics, and I believe this is Dragon Ball Z, the start of that, and this is Dragon Ball. This is a nice book. Patch Hulk I think that's in a 9.8. Then we have Thanos Quest 1 and 2. Those books are pretty nice. And then he's got a bunch of Wolverine stuff. I think this guy may be the biggest Wolverine fan in the world. Also, shout out to him for taking these pictures and like displaying these like that, because man, that is a lot of work. And you'll see how many photos are here. Like this guy put in the work. He's a military man, and he said the military trained him right, because I complimented him. I said, I definitely would not, I don't think I'd have the patience to do this. This is a nice book here, the Wolverine Deadpool book. And some of this other stuff, you guys are probably like, oh, he's missing this, missing that. I don't know. Like these ratio variants, this is not my forte. These super modern books, I don't know. I know this is TMNT Ronin, and then you'll see a lot of green labels coming down the pipe here, because these are unconfirmed signatures, but he has COAs on a lot of stuff. He's got a Stan Lee sig. I know he has at least one coming up later here, and then he's got a 9.9 here, and it's a good mix of CGC and CBCS. So that's interesting as well. Oh, and then I think these are those PGX? I can't remember. what labeling those are. He's got some good books on this picture as well. And I'm just making a guess as to when Patrick started collecting, and I'm going to guess he's a 90s kid like me, because you'll see a lot of the Jim Lee X-Men stuff, and then just a lot of these 90s books like What If Hulk Had Killed Wolverine, and then just the Dragon Ball Z stuff. I mean, anybody that's like a 90s kid, millennial, you probably are a Dragon Ball Z guy or girl. This is a nice one here. 365, first Spider-Man 2099. This is a cool book here. And there's more negative space stuff. There's also some Star Wars stuff here later on. First X-23 in her solo series. That's a good book. Hey, Beavis and Butthead #1, 9.8. And then he's got, see, this is nice. He's got the full, all the covers of X-Men 1. Nice book there. Oh, whoops. First Lobo in a 9.8. That's really nice. And then this, I do know about this book. This is that Negative Space Rogue book, and I know a lot of those got damaged, as well as the Wolverine Negative Space, and those are both signed. So those are nice books. And he's got Hulk 340, and that looks signed. I can't tell what the signature is. There's that Sabretooth #1. And then, and see here, see he's got COAs with some of these books. There's the Spider-Man 1 Gold Edition, and then it's been signed, you're assuming, by Todd McFarlane, and then it's in a green label. And a lot of these books, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not familiar with. There's the Wolverine solo series in a 9.8. This book looks familiar here. That's got a sketch on it, so assuming several of these have sketches as well. Here's a really nice book. There's the Blip #1. That's a good book, in an 8.5 too. That's really nice. And then he's got Super Mario Bros. I can't remember what issue number that is. Another Hulk Had Killed Wolverine. This one in a newsstand. That's actually a pretty sought after book. There's First Weapon X and a 9.6. A lot of Wolverine stuff. And now we're getting into the Raw books. And there's some pretty good Raw books here. Now, he was telling me that a majority of the Raw books are in very high grade as well. If you're wanting to see any book specifically, I'm sure he would show you that. Looks like he might have been purchasing some things on Whatnot, or because I think this is that Invincible Whatnot exclusive or whatever. First Son of Satan solo series, Super Mario Bros. Nice book. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 again. She-Hulk 1. First Gambit. It's pretty decent stuff here as well. I love this Wolverine cover with that homage. And then this is that Clayton Crane, like, I always think this is like that Carnage USA. I don't know if that was like the first time that art has been used, but I always see that and it always catches my eye. And then he's got just, I mean, is this the complete run of Dragon Ball? I'll need to look at how long that run ran, but I mean, that's a lot of Dragon Ball Z. And he's got multiple copies of this, as well as the first Dragon Ball. And then he's got an ASM 301. So books that are not here, I'm just going to tell you now. There's no Hulk 181. There's no ASM 300. What other books that you would think he would have? You don't know whether he's probably holding on to those. He's probably selling a lot of the stuff he's not interested in. It seems like he's just totally getting out of this. And then every 90s collection wouldn't be complete without the run of the Infinity Gauntlet. And then we're going to get into a bunch of Spider-Man stuff here, but it's not ASM. It's Web of Spider-Man. More Wolverine stuff. I mean, like I said, this guy might be the biggest Wolverine fan there is. Weapon X. I think we're just getting into some just back issue stuff here. More X-Men, more X-Factor, some Star Wars. Oh, he's got some minor keys in here. Terminator 1. First Bishop. Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of back issue stuff in these pictures. More copies of that Wolverine book. You guys are gonna have to let me know. Is that like a key, or I don't know. Some of these you gotta make sure they're I think they're true believer copies of some of these issues. Here's an Old Man Logan homage. That's kind of cool. I'm a sucker for anything like that, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well. Yeah, oh, Wolverine #1, the solo series. That's the other book I was forgetting. So Hulk 181, ASM 300, Wolverine 1. Those are probably books that he's like keeping. He's probably got those graded. I'm assuming. I don't know. Several of these I would like to actually read. He's got every variant of, what is that? That ASM, is that Mary Jane? And then the She-Hulk version of that. And Scotty Young book pops out. And then here's, okay, yeah, he's also got a Secret Wars 8. Complete, is this a complete run of Secret Wars? No. This is, well, actually, possibly. Here's Secret Wars 1. We'd have to go through it. There's 2, 3. Yeah, it might be a complete Secret Wars run, just casually looking at this. Looks like a complete Secret Wars 2 run. Multiple copies of the Jim Lee stuff. Yeah, I mean, this dude definitely looks like he was collecting in the 90s. There's no doubt about that. Or he's a 90s kid that went back and got the 90s stuff from his childhood. It's always interesting to me to see, what's the driving factor to getting out of it. You know what I mean? Like this, he's collected, he's selling in a time that is not a great time to be selling, but it could get worse. Here's the Web of Spider-Man stuff that I was talking about earlier. Couple little minor keys in there. Nice little Web of Spider-Man run though. Heck, that might be the complete run of that, or a large chunk of it. And then here's more Superman. There is, wait, no, that wasn't ASM. These are more Web of Spider-Man. Yeah, that might be the complete run of this in here. More Weapon X books. I think that might be the complete run of Weapon X. Oh, here's first Ben Reilly. Oh, these are multiple ASM books, these great covers. Those don't look like facsimiles to me. Those might be the real thing. That's kind of a cool cover there. And another Dragon Ball Z book. Hey, and we've got hashtag Comicsgate. Here's ISOM #1, so that's pretty cool. Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. That's a good book. I knew that Star Wars Negative Space book was hot for a minute. Another Negative Space book. He was definitely collecting a lot of that. It's just so interesting to see, what different people collect, what interested them. And, this guy obviously was a big ratio guy. Virgin covers. A lot of these, obviously are cover buys. These Venom books are pretty cool. Those always catch my eye too. But when you're at the end of the day, and if you're wanting to sell your collection, it's just, man, it's just tough. Like, I don't think a lot of people collect that stuff. but I know a lot of stuff here that a lot of people would be interested in. And here's that ASM book. He's got every version of that, like the Virgin variant, the variant, the trade dress, then the trade dress without the variant. I mean, that's crazy. He's got all those. All three of these really stick out. Those negative space always pop off. Okay, so here are the cards. Now, a lot of these are all from, he said, like 92 or 90, 92, 95. And a lot of these, you can't see the grade on these, but he says a majority of these are 10s. So, yeah. So a lot of these look like they are either homage covers to famous comics, or they're just like the cover of famous comics, like Avengers 1, ASM 129, X-Men 1, Fantastic Four 1, ASM 1, Wolverine 1, Giant Size X-Men 1. I mean, that's actually kind of cool. These cards are never really something that I collected. I only collect Magic the Gathering cards. These cards that really, they're not part of like a game. They're just like collectible cards. That's never really interested me. To me, like, cards have always been part of like a trading card game. And here's some close-ups of some more specific books. Yeah, we see multiple copies of Wolverine 3, and I think there was another copy of Wolverine 1 we missed. I think it was in like a 9.4 or 9.6 maybe. Yeah, so here's the first six issues of the Wolverine books. And those were PGX labels. I was right on that. These are the qualified grades because I think they have the signatures, or the unconfirmed signatures. That's a great book right there. It looks like it's in a 9.2. A lot of signature series stuff. These are in a 9.4. X-Men Annual number 8. Is this? I don't know the significance of this book. Signed by the cover artist. Yeah, so some of these signatures go back to 2016. Marvel Index 1 wraparound cover. And see, here's some of the certificates of authenticity. So, written on the cover. I mean, I get like getting those books slabbed, I guess. I mean, but just the realization that you're going to get a green label. Man, these are super modern books. Just right off the shelves and graded. Here's more Wolverine. See, okay, here's the Wolverine 1. He's selling it, and it's, who is this one signed? Is this a Frank Miller signature? I can't remember. That does not look like a Frank Miller signature. Marvel Comics Presents 51. Weapon X book. Paul. It's just so hard to see who the signatures are. Man, this guy's like the biggest Wolverine fan ever. And there's the Omega Red books. This must be, yeah, some sort of variant. It's a nice book there. Marvel Comics Presents number 1. And then, yeah, here's the Stan Lee signatures. So here's certificates of authenticity given by PSA. Another Stan Lee sig. So you guys might be wondering what he's wanting for all of these books. Another Stan Lee signature. He's wanting $60,000 for the entire collection. Man, there's a lot of Stan Lee signatures back here. I didn't realize there was this many of them. $60,000 is a little bit out of my budget, but it seems to me that he would be willing to sell individual books. Again, if you're interested in any of this, look in the description. of this video for his contact information. Super nice guy, and I think he will work with you. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If at any point in time you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you like this video, subscribe for more. Take care.